I want a love that feels like that.
Yeah.
Like how pure a sisterhood love is.
When you say, I don't need a man, I need my sister.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I'll cry.
Yeah.
My
I mean,
favorite line.
I can't like stop, like the way that like hit me.
Yep.
I can't even explain it. And like that, you don't get to see that in rom-coms. It's like you're adding in just so much more life.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
I'm your daddy.
I can be smart when it's important.
I'm your daddy. I'm
Sorry to this
I'm your daddy.
Welcome to Daddy Dailies, a podcast hosted by Not Your Daddy's Films. On a film set, dailies are sent out after a shoot day so you can see the work in progress. Daddy Dailies are conversations that go behind the scenes so you can see what work went into the process and be better armed to succeed in the industry. Daddy Dailies, hosted by Not Your Daddy's Films.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Daddy Dailies. I'm Vika Stolbein.
And I'm Carly Tamarin.
And we're your hosts for today. We are with Leah McKendrick, who is a Latina multi-hyphenate from San Francisco that specializes in women behaving badly, which is our favorite brand of women. She wrote, produced, and co-starred in the vigilante thriller MFA, which was dubbed the first horror movie to speak to the Me Too era by the New York Times. She also wrote, directed, and starred in Lionsgate's FERTCOM, fertility comedy, Scrambled, which premiered at South by Southwest and was released theatrically by Lionsgate Roadside Attractions in 2024. Her new rom-com, which will be out by the time this episode comes out, is called Voicemails for Isabelle. It stars Zoe Deutsch, Nick Robinson, and Nick Offerman in a very hilarious turn. It's out June 19th on Netflix. Voicemails for Isabelle follows Jill, who leaves voice messages for her deceased sister, telling her about her chaotic life in San Francisco. Unwittingly, a mysterious Austin real estate agent begins to receive their confessions. Welcome to Daddy Dailies. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, ladies.
It's really exciting.
It's cool.
I know, it's so good. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah,
Truly. So good. Like, I was really happy.
It's 10 out of 10 perfect no notes.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to say.
Yep.
It's so good. And
Thank
honestly, I can't wait to
you.
watch it again.
Yeah, same.
Oh, that's so nice.
Which again, for me, as like a not typical rom-com girly. Okay, so for the listeners at home, Leah and I have known each other for like years. And you guys also have a ton of mutual friends. But
Oh, we got to meet
I
together.
met Leah for the first time at a screening. Was it Holly Shorts?
It was Holly Shorts.
At Holly Shorts
Yeah.
with your short film, Pamela and Ivy.
That's
Pamela
right.
v. Ivy.
Pamela and Ivy. Yep.
Which like blew my mind back then. That was like
Aw.
such an exciting moment for me too, because Blair brought me and she was like, I think that you should see this. Like you and Leah like talk similarly about stuff. She was like, I feel like you should come and like meet and see this. And I mean, I was just so blown away. It was such a cool look at Poison Ivy and her
Thank
backstory.
you.
Oh, a retelling of Poison.
Yeah.
Is that online anywhere?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes,
I love
it's on
that.
YouTube. I'll send it to you.
So good. But yeah, so that's how we met.
That was my last short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had made a lot of shorts before then.
Yes.
And then after, because I had already made MFA, and then I was like, I think I want to direct.
Mhm.
So I started directing, and then from MFA, Pamela and Ivy, and I made Scrambled.
Yeah.
I heard you say that you kind of came to directing by way of like protecting your script. 'Cause
Yeah.
you, like, especially with Scrambled because it's so personal.
Yes.
And for those who maybe haven't seen it yet, I love Scrambled so much.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
like the story of a woman freezing her eggs, and it's so real and really funny. And I think like we're women in our 30s who don't have kids, and like this is a conversation all the time amongst our friends.
Yep.
And so to see it on screen was so special. And like, I think there's like a through line, if I can draw one, between this and Voicemails for Isabelle about the experience of being a modern woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like
Always.
wanting all the things, wanting a career and wanting a love that feels good and wanting to not have this clock on us and have control over things and all of
Totally.
that. And you balance the grief in this movie and a little bit of grief in Scrambled.
Totally.
Yes, for sure.
With so much humor. And
Thank you.
I love it so much.
Yes. Yeah. And like the multi-hyphenate of it all
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
is, do you have advice for anybody that, I mean, I think that's so many of us. Women are obviously multifaceted.
Right.
So, but just like having the confidence to try the different things, you know, like, was there a first moment that sparked you being like, you know what, I need to make sure, yes, I'm an actor, but I write and like writing your first thing, or did you start with writing, then go to acting? Which one where'd you start?
I really started with writing music as a little girl. I would write lyrics and I would sing, and I wanted to be a pop singer. And that was always that was always like the plan, the dream. I was like, I'm gonna go to Hollywood and I'm gonna sing and I'm gonna act. So I'll do movies and I'll sing. And you know, it was a beautiful, lovely little girl's fantasy. But my parents were like, you got to go to college. And so you can study whatever you want, but you got to go to college. So I studied theater so that I could do a little bit of everything. And they would, at Chapman where I went, they would have you kind of recycle these scenes for class, and everybody would like kind of perform the same scenes over and over again every year. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And John Bennett's, my professor, who I love dearly, was like, you're doing it. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And he was like, if you can write something better, I'll let you shoot that.
Oh.
And I was like, I can do that. So I just started writing from a space of rebelliousness that I was even in college, from feeling like I had to contort myself to fit into a box. And I think the truth was it was coming from a space of some real frustration that I had a lot to say as a young person, and I had a lot of creative energy, and I felt restricted in a college environment that I wasn't really applying myself to. And I'm really grateful because John is the reason that I became a writer, and I started writing my own scenes for class, and then I would write them for other people, and then I started writing my own plays, and then I started writing my own films. And really it was just motivated by the roles I wanted to play, the stories I wanted to tell, ideas that I had. But it's funny because I think that my work from back then really does like feel similar to my work now.
Yeah.
Like my first play that I wrote was called American Girl, and because I was also a sociology minor, I was learning how to interview people. And I was really fascinated by that process and the proper way to do it and how to ask questions that kind of dig deeper. And so I started interviewing women around my age and asking them, like, what's it like to date? What's it like to how do you feel about your body? How do you feel? And so I started to find that there was so much like inner life that wasn't being expressed.
Yeah.
Like, and so many problems and issues and yearnings and it was so vibrant in there, and that I wrote my first play, American Girl, based off of all these different, it was like monologues of all these different women that I had spoken to, just talking about some really heavy stuff, body dysmorphia and sexual assault and all this stuff and there was laughs and there was tears and there was all the things.
Yeah.
But I was like, what, 19 years old, 20 years old? So.
Yeah.
Well, we both went to theater programs as well. And while they're fantastic, so much of the work you're doing, are characters that are so much older than you are and at the time. And usually
you're like in Streetcar Named Desire. Right?
Literally.
And you're always kind of like trying to tap into that. You're doing Shakespeare, you're trying to tap into it. And it's valuable. And I love Chapman and I loved that program. And I'm very grateful to them. But
there's also value in like the experience you're having at that time and all these different women. Like, I think the only play that was ever recommended to me at the time was like the vagina monologues. And
Totally.
I sought out other...
It's like that, it was the standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Other women playwrights, and I found them. But like so much of what I was doing or working on in class was so not my lived experience, which I think is good and expansive and all the things, but it's so nice to recognize yourself in something. And I bet people loved performing what you were writing with that.
I mean... Thank you. I hope that's true. I think so. But it was when I wrote that play, I directed that play, I put it up at Chapman. And I just remember feeling that it was such pride, such deep pride in sharing these stories that I had been chewing on and all these women that had shared their true life experiences with me and feeling that there was nothing else like it. I think that's the truth, is that I was, as a young person, working on classical text, trying to see myself and going, I guess I have to write that myself.
Yeah.
And just trying to rationalize your own thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Like, how can you what you see is what you know you can be. So it's like, if you're not seeing any of it, how can you understand yourself?
Right.
You know, and so it's
Right,
cool
yeah.
that you just decided to like excavate that on your own. I think that's so commendable. And even like everything that you're making now, it still feels so fresh. Like
Thank you.
the way that Jill speaks, and I keep wanting to get to voicemails, but we'll get there. But just like, I think all of your characters, you know, like clearly are such an extension of you and
Big time.
figuring out your thoughts and feelings. Like, it's wild that it is still, I mean, just exciting.
Yeah.
Like, it's like exhilarating to watch a woman be like all of the things that we all have bubbling inside of us. Like, there's just so much space for that.
I think what you said about interviewing people is really interesting, and I'm wondering what advice, now that you have several films under your belt and you've got more in development, would you give on honing your voice as a writer to somebody who maybe started as an actor or started in a different space and wants to become a better writer?
It's a hard piece of advice because I think I wish I had that like magic bullet.
Sure, yeah.
But I think, and also answers your previous question, which is like, I can't speak for everybody else, but I believe that you don't wake up confident. The confidence happens in the doing, and you have to just do it. And you're like, what is my voice? It's like to be or not to be. You're like, just write. Just keep writing and write a lot all the time.
Yeah.
And watch a lot of movies and read a lot of stuff and start seeing where you're lighting up and circling. What I do a lot is like what I used to do with my music, my song lyrics. I would just kind of like free flowing stream of consciousness, whatever, if I was breaking up with somebody, and I would just be writing. And mostly there'd just only be like morsels that were good.
Yeah.
Most of it was kind of just like unusable. But then there'd be some really good seed of something or a really good line, and that's enough. You just take that, take the really good stuff. It doesn't all have to be great. I think a lot of people think because of the format of a screenplay is there's rules to it, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat. And that means that there's a wrong and a right.
Right.
And I don't think that's true.
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
Because think of all your favorite movies. A lot of those films have moments that really broke the rules. And that's the beauty of any art form. So I think the secret to finding your voice is expressing your voice and finding what are the pieces that feel the most you, and that will be constantly changing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
totally.
it's like, how do you really know if you're not doing it?
Yeah, you have to be okay with like not loving everything you put down on the page.
Yep.
And it's interesting hearing you talk about the lyric writing process, because I was a stand-up for a while, and I would do the same thing for finding jokes. I would like write out, something that happened to me, and stream of consciousness, whatever, and I wouldn't try to write it in a joke form.
I cannot even imagine being a stand-up. I don't even.
neither.
There's like that is nothing to me is a fever dream for me. But I actually think it's a really great example or metaphor, because it's not even a metaphor. It's like a legitimate.
Yeah.
I think it's a great comparison. But I think, do you really know if you're going to crush if you don't get on stage?
No, and that's the thing, is like I would go through, I would highlight things, and I'd be like, this is funny to me. I think this is a joke, but you don't know.
You don't know.
And that's the best litmus test, because when you get on stage in front of an audience and they don't laugh,
Proof is in the pudding,
work.
right? It's so real. I feel the same way when I test my jokes in a screening, because the film process, oftentimes you have early screenings. I'm not telling you. I know you guys know this, just in case
No,
there's
tell
anybody
them.
if there's
Tell them,
anybody
they must
that
know.
isn't familiar with this. In a feature film, usually you will test the film honestly as soon as possible. So especially if it's a comedy, so that you can see what's hitting and what's not, because it will always surprise you. I have favorite jokes that I'm like laughing so hard and nobody in the theater, not a peep. And I'm like, this is the best joke in the movie. Nobody, I was like, you can't argue with it, right? Like proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And then there are moments that I'm like, okay, it's like, whatever. And then I hear all this laughter. I'm like, really? And so I'm always shocked by, and you have to sort of remove the ego from it.
It's hard.
It's really hard, but I do think it's like, being a stand-up is the most visceral example of what we're talking about, which is like you don't know what hits, you don't know what your voice is, you don't know what your strengths are if you're not getting on stage.
Yeah.
And it's similar to if anybody listening or us, like being in acting class, there's this, it feels like an age-old exercise, like behind the back of like people will call out like, oh, you could play archetypes, you know, the bride, the lawyer, whatever. And I think some
bride.
of learning what works for you as a singer-songwriter, like Sabrina Carpenter completely changed her
Aesthetic.
aesthetic.
Sound.
That really works for her, and the like tongue-in-cheek lyric writing was
Totally.
always there, but it had a different package.
Sure.
And with joke writing, knowing what works on you. Like I had a teacher very aptly tell like a gorgeous woman, people don't really want to hear about how it's hard for you to date. Because and like take that or leave it, you know, like it's like, but people,
I think it can be harder to date when you're like the most stunning woman.
Yes.
Some of those women, I feel bad. The men that
like,
they attract.
Will
Or like just kind of like these terrible people that want them as trophies.
No,
so.
I don't necessarily agree with this assessment, but just the idea that like the delivery and the package in which the joke is coming out of makes a difference.
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a whole, they're having a whole different experience than when you're alone in your bathroom, like writing this stuff. You know what I mean? I think all that's so real.
Yeah, it's really just daring to put it out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daring to put it out there and be embarrassed, like daring to make yourself tell truer and truer things in your stories.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary.
So
do we need to move on?
Well, I just want to, because I know we're like edging around voicemails for Isabelle, but you spoke about film financing and how when you were first making MFA, and then I'm assuming maybe wrongly with Scrambled as well, like how to navigate that, what you didn't know, what you learned along the way. And that's the most common question we get from our listeners.
How do you finance a film?
How do you finance a film? Where do you start?
Yeah.
And I know that's a huge question.
No, it is.
But where did you find the most useful, you know, I'm on the Monopoly board and I'm starting here.
Totally. I think about this all the time because I made MFA with the team in 2016. And now it is, wait a minute. Yeah, 2016 is 2020. So 10 years ago.
That's
Happy
anniversary.
Thank you. I'm just realizing that. Whoa, that's wild. 10 years ago.
Cool.
And the game has changed so much since then.
Yeah.
And I almost sometimes feel like the advice that I give to young filmmakers has almost become obsolete in some ways. And I mean, I'll tell you what worked for me, but I will always say a door that didn't open for me might open for you.
Yeah.
And a door that opened for me might not open for you. And things, the game has changed. I think it's really hard to get into the festivals that people that used to really launch careers with having no movie stars and shoestring budgets and no big fancy agencies. Like there used to be
a space for that to really
there was
take
and
off.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist anymore, but I think it's harder to get into Sundance. It's harder to get into South by. So financing films. I just want to like preface it with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I know and what I believe. Take it with a grain of salt. Things are always changing. So I asked a lot of people for advice when I was making MFA. And one of the most valuable pieces of advice I got was you need to tell everybody that you are making a movie. And you say, do you know anyone that you think would be interested in financing movies? And somebody said to me, you might not know people with money, but you know people that know people with money.
Yes.
And I think one of the really, I don't know if it was like strategic. I think it was just kind of ignorance. One of the things that I did at that point in my career, I didn't have writing representation or directing. I wasn't a director yet. And I didn't have some big agency behind me. So I knew I'm going to have to do it all on my own. And I didn't want to, and I think this actually still applies. I think a lot of people think they're going to send their script around and then one day somebody's going to raise their hand and give them the money. that does happen for some people. And you know what? I salute them.
Yeah.
But that's a really great way to put yourself in a holding pattern for many years.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that in 2016, I said to myself, I'm going to write this script and I'm going to make it this summer at Chapman and I'm going to get $100,000. I'm going to raise it myself and I'm going to go make this movie.
Hell yeah.
And we needed more than $100,000. That was a sweet thought, but we got that money and it came from a million different places. My first investor was my cousin, Jesse, who's an attorney.
Shout out, Jesse.
Shout out, Jesse.
Yes.
Sorry I cut you from the movie. Love you. Love you. Miss you. I cold emailed hundreds of people
Wow.
on IMDb that I saw listed production companies that did financing. Cold emails, just me and a script. I met one of, to this day, my best friends, my producer. She was a producer on a lot of Pamela and Ivy, Scrambled, MFA.
Cool.
She thought I was like a scam.
Wait, I feel like she might have come
You met
to some
Mariah?
Not Your Daddy. Yeah,
Yes.
I talked to Mariah.
Yeah.
Like, I think she has either come to Not Your Daddy stuff or has like tried to, but she's amazing too. And I remember her
Yes.
saying that, like, she was like, she just emailed me.
Out of the blue. I mean, she's shy about this, but I will tell you, like, she was one of my biggest investors. But she was a boots on the ground producer with me.
I love that.
And we did not know each other. She was from Canada. She flew down to meet me. She believed in my script. She believed in the project. She believed in me, continues to believe in me. And she was that champion. And so we had a lot of bits that came, somebody knew this person who brought in this money. And then somebody, the creator of Pictionary was my biggest investor.
Cool.
I mean, and miracles.
Yeah.
Miracles happen. Tough stuff happened. Miracles happened. Beautiful.
Sorry. I'm like, is that
When every
Keep it
episode becomes a
going.
musical episode.
Yeah. Well, now we have a singer-songwriter here.
Oh, perfect. So this will come back.
Sounds like you're a
We'll
singer.
come back.
I'm loving that. But
Yeah, you need one.
so it's really like chasing down leads.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are dead ends.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to give up. And people will tell you, I had an investor say to me, I had gone to dinner with him so many times and he was kind of dangling the carrot and I was like, he's not into this. And then finally, we're going to shoot the movie. I had enough money to, I think we started shooting before we had all the money in, which is very risky. But like I said to him, if you don't want to invest in the movie, it's okay. I understand. I'm super glad that we met, but I'm leaving to shoot the movie. So it's kind of like in or out. And he said, I'm going to be honest. I read your script. I don't get it. Don't get it. I don't get the movie. I don't know that it's going to do well, but I like you and I'm going to give you the money.
And what you're saying about the confidence you get by doing, like, I'm sure throughout that process and getting no's or getting maybes, it doesn't feel good, but you kept going.
You just keep it rolling, man.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I saw something on Instagram or TikTok. It said like a girl, she aimed to have 1,000 rejections in a year. And before she knew it, she's in beauty pageant. She's in magazine. Because if you're just trying to like clock those
Collect your
rejections,
no's.
collect the no's, then you just can't really like, I would advise anybody that's going to do this to believe, and don't do it before you believe this, believe that your movie belongs in the world. And I had no money. I had 10 grand to my name and I put it all in the movie. And so I could look in these people's eyes in these meetings and I would say, I know that my movie is going to work. I know that my movie is going to work so much because I'll show you how. I put all my money in this movie. And I promise you, I can't tell you for sure you're going to make your money back, but I can promise you you're going to be proud of it. And I can promise you I'm never going to stop fighting for it. And I'm going to see it to the very end and make sure that people see this movie and know what's up. Like I can promise you.
I love that.
And it was like, if that wasn't enough for them, that's okay. It's a very risky investment. It's not a smart
It's never a
investment.
good, truly. Investment advisors say
It's
never
not.
put your money in that.
It isn't.
But it is the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm reading this book right now called A Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Ooh.
And it's not necessarily about money, but it's about how nothing matters and time isn't real and money isn't real. You know what I mean?
Great. Love that.
And like we're just a bunch of molecules, you know, like
Okay.
being pushed around, but it's about how everything has a reaction. So like anything you put out there, there's going to be some reaction. And if your thoughts are, I know I'm going to make this movie and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And you start reaching out to people and getting the money, it's going to happen.
Yes. I believe that.
You have to know.
You've got to be the engine. And I think that is the tough love that I would give all the filmmakers. I think a lot of people are waiting for the Wizard of Oz, the cavalry, the magical agent, investor, studio executive.
If I only had X.
They'll show up and they're going to see me. And I wish I wish all the filmmakers that are fighting to do this would just see themselves and decide, if I can't get $1 million, then I'm going to rewrite it and make it for $100,000. If I can't get $100,000, then I will make it in my house for $10,000.
Right.
It's like, just do what you can with what you have where you are.
And you cut your teeth on that. You did it yourself. You, with your team, of course, and your wonderful
Director
producer and director.
yeah.
But you then, to go from that, show people what you can do. And now you've made voicemails for Isabelle, which I'm sure, you know, when you sell something to a Sony and then it's on Netflix and that's a whole different budget you're working with.
Yeah.
Were there big differences, or is it just like bigger sandbox, big fancier toys?
I think it's different.
Okay.
I would say it's very different. Other people might not feel that way. I think some people feel that it's just you do the same exact thing. No, for me, it was quite different. A very different experience. I mean, for example, with Scrambled, it was my camera operator was also my cinematographer.
Yeah.
And I'm starring in it. I'm in every scene. So it's like just me and Julia Swain, my DP.
Who also was your DP for voicemails.
Love
and
that.
is wonderful.
Love
like the
that.
work is really beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, she's a genius. But I felt like it was like me and Julia making this thing, you know? And we would have these cool actors and my producers protecting us and keeping us safe in that sphere. But it really felt like this really intimate, very tight, very just pure passion and determination, and never enough time or money or any of that. But like, we were so happy. Like we were really flying free on that one. And then voicemails, Julia's not operating. You have 2 cameras now.
Yeah.
Julia's in a tent, and then there's a director tent, and like we're like a city.
Yeah.
And I had to sort of go, whoa, this doesn't actually work for me. Like I want to be closer to my DP. I'm just gonna be in the DP tent. She got the good screens. Like I need my little, I call it my clam bake, my monitor. I need my little clam bake, and I just want to be with my actors on set. Like I never went to my trailer. I mean, it's beautiful to have that setup, and that's gorgeous. But like, you start to realize that some of this size and scale starts to make it feel, you start getting further away from what you're creating, and I just want to be up in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's trying to, but then it's like with a studio movie, we get to be on cable cars in San Francisco.
So cool.
You know what I mean? Like,
that is wild.
We have 2 Taylor Swift songs.
I was
screaming. I was screaming.
I was
Taylor
screaming.
Swift. I was like, yes, Leah.
Right?
There's Taylor fucking Swift
It's a
in there.
moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always like
Yeah.
all your dreams come true.
Yeah.
And figuring out how to make it work for you. I think it's so smart
Yes,
that you
it's
were
finding a way
Yeah.
to meld the
Because it
2
can
worlds.
be, I mean, I don't want to assume, but I feel like I spend a lot of time on TV sets and it's 3 cameras and it's the same thing. It's like DP's over here and, you know, whatever. And I shadowed this director who does a lot of episodic work, Larry Tang, who's wonderful. And he was like, no, I'm going to have my monitor on set. I don't want to be sprinting from another room to go talk to my actors or doing it over a walkie, like unless I absolutely have to be in like a follow car or something. And I think that was really good for me to see.
Yeah.
Because I, at least, and I'm saying this for anybody listening who feels this way, sometimes I'm like, well, these are the rules. And I have to just like go into my little tent or my chair or whatever.
Yes.
Such a good point.
Yeah.
Well,
and
you
you don't
want to
have
feel
to.
like you belong, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is how we do it here. And I think there was a little bit of that in the beginning for me, until I just was like, no, I'm going to do what works for me. And what works for me is being in it with my actors.
Yeah.
Julia being right by me all the time, and kind of bringing what we created on Scramble to trying to have it just be a bigger sandbox rather than changing our whole process to fit a system that I'm sure works beautifully for other people, but didn't feel right to me.
Yeah. And you're the leader, and it's got to feel right to you.
Yeah, like finding that also, I think, is a tough thing. It's like when you have a small film and it's a small team, everybody's got your back, it feels like. And there's just a lot more, it's easier to feel that you have a place there. And when there's so many people, you're in another country, I'd never been to Vancouver before, and there's offices, and you're like, I don't deserve this, you know?
But you do.
Yeah. But you have to sort of constantly
deal with that mental.
Who's putting me in I have an office with my name on it? Like, I don't belong here.
Right.
Like, I'm just like a feral indie kid that wants to just like take my clothes off and like cry. And like, you know what I mean? And like paint on the walls. Like, that's who I really am.
Totally.
So suddenly there's like a corporate aspect to it, and there's truly a leadership aspect to it.
Yes.
And it's finding a way to like do it in your own way,
Right.
but also like stick both your feet on the ground, dig in your heels and say, I earned this. Because I promise you, Netflix don't be making no mistakes as far as who they greenlight. It is a tough process in any studio to get greenlit. It's a miracle. It's the greatest miracle. So if they think I can do it and they think that I'm meant to do this, then I'm going to show up.
I love that.
Hell yeah. I love it. Okay. Let's talk about rom-coms.
Yay!
Let's talk about rom-coms.
Let's do it.
Okay, something else I love. I think it's really evident in voicemails, that you wrote it and you directed it, and you're also in it, obviously. Just so fun. We'll get to that. But just the way that you weave everything together works so well on screen. And I feel like you really delivered on the promise of the premise for us. Like, you updated the rom-com for us in the way that we like are so thirsty for. You know, like from all of the Meg Ryan, references, to like
icon,
truly, to like Dancing to Robin, like the Millennial Promise was in there too, to him like running in the rain to get her and beauty shots and him looking just so fine, like, it just every moment I was like, yes, this is the rom-com we want. This is exactly what we want to see.
Thanks,
and it wasn't cheesy. It was just real.
Thank you.
Real plus you giving us, I think, what you want to see, and us being like, that definitely lands. So
awesome.
What do you think, what are your rom-com non-negotiables?
Ooh. I'm always going to have a female protagonist, I'll be honest, for me as a viewer or for me as a filmmaker? Because those are different.
I think.
Jerry Maguire is one of my favorites, and that's it. But it's also, I guess the reason I love Jerry Maguire, it's because it's this very self-involved kind of ambition, obsessed type of character that really is humbled and softened by love, So I like a male protagonist if he gets his ass handed to him. but okay, so
like Hitch,
I love Hitch too. Yeah, I think a rom-com for me, I love to laugh and cry. And I think if it's just laughter all the way through, it's really tough. It's kind of a tough sell for me. Like, I really want there to be like a come to Jesus, like let's drop all of this and let's have this really organic moment. You know who does that really well? Knocked Up. Knocked Up is so funny, so hilarious. But when the emotion shows up, I mean, you're kind of, everybody silences and they're in it. So I love Knocked Up. But yeah, I think if it's just laughter or if it's just romance, I love like a blend. Notting Hill,
Mm-hmm.
Sleepless in Seattle, obviously huge inspiration for me on this one.
For sure.
Because a big part of that is that they spend most of the movie apart.
Mm-hmm.
And you spend a lot of time with Jill in my movie
Yeah.
before you meet Wes. And it takes a minute for them to actually come face to face.
Yeah.
And so I kind of kept referencing Sleepless in Seattle, being like, but it's going to be a build. And think how great it's going to be if it didn't happen on minute 15, you know? If it happened later and we're just dying for for him to show up for her.
And when he does, you're like, what's he going to say?
What's he going to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have built the anticipation.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have to have like a kiss in the rain? Do you, like a grand gesture? Like, does any of those tropes matter to you?
Or like, what is your favorite moment in this?
I know what I have to have that I put in all my rom-com scripts. I didn't invent this, by the way. I'm just like never gonna give this up. I'll die on this hill. I love a monologue. I love a monologue from the man, like breaking it down and being like, I love you.
And here's all the reasons why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if it's in every great rom-com of all time. I can't get enough of it. I love writing it. I love watching them perform it. I love to cry. I just want to feel that he figured it out and you complete me. Like I want to believe that he got there and he's going to tell her and he's going to get, and I love in Jerry Maguire, he's in front of all the women. Like and I think it's that part. It's something that we don't have in real life.
Yes, it was literally
because even if they come crawling back, it's probably a text. I miss you.
Yeah,
sure. Well,
I
think like boiled down to it. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, but like boiled down to it, it's like we want to feel seen.
Yes.
Like, and this is just. I'm only going to talk about heterosexual relationships right now.
Okay.
But like, we women want to be seen for all the different things, and men want to be needed. Like. For help. Like, I helped you with this. I did it. You know, like I'm useful.
Yes.
And it's like just such a fundamental difference.
Sure.
So when a man breaks down in a rom-com, like, oh, like I see this about you. I love
need
this.
you.
I love I need, you know, whatever. It's like,
totally. I love
real.
Forcing a character to have to articulate something
out
loud in front of everybody. Rain, water, wet from the rain. You know what I mean? I want him to be like, heart out, skin off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On his knees.
Yeah.
And I think that is, in the case of this and Jerry Maguire, like seeing them so long in this movie without each other and seeing that he has a hard time expressing himself.
Yes.
He has a hard time saying exactly what is on his mind.
Right.
And you know, like his coworker reacted to him as though he's kind of a jerk, but maybe it's more that he just doesn't know how to say the right words. And like we're starting to see that as the audience. And then the way that they fit together as characters to unlock kind of like the better part of each other is I think why all the ingredients add up so well. And I think you are uniquely positioned as somebody with acting training in a movie like this to really talk about those emotional things with your actors. Is it something like, because you're wearing the directing hat and the writing hat, like how do you feel when an actor comes to you and is talking about the character and maybe has a slightly different interpretation or maybe wants to like adjust a line? Like, is that something where you're like comfortable with that? Or is it tough? Because you've had these characters in your head for so long.
No, I love actors. That's really the core of it. I love actors. And the fact that an actor would feel so strongly as to tell me I have this vision of how it should be done, I will always welcome that. It doesn't mean we're always going to agree. It does not mean that. And I think part of what makes this job beautiful is that you suddenly have two people that really care and that are like, what's the best version of this? And sometimes it means shooting it both ways. Let's just shoot it a few different ways. I believe in that because I don't even know sometimes like what's we really need in that moment, you know? And I'm like, here's how I envision it. But I will also say like, I will be the first to tell you when you wrote something so many years ago that it can be, sometimes you have this initial vision kind of cemented in your head and it's not always helpful to you, right? So I value somebody, especially like Zoe or Nick, who are just like these heavyweights.
They're so good.
That if they're having an instinct,
Yeah.
I don't want to jam my own initial vision down their throat because it's not going to come off as deeply motivated as what they're finding. You know, I got to trust their instincts. But we do, you know, we do a lot of different versions. And I love improv and I loved it. And that's what's really fun about being in the scenes with them sometimes is like to shape. If I want something, I might not necessarily like tell Nick. I'll just start giving him that.
That's
You
fun.
know what I mean? If I want it paced up, suddenly I just start picking up the pace. Or if I want it like a little like bitchy, then I'll just start being bitchy. He's like, what is she giving me here? You know what I mean? And you just start to like find it together.
That's fun.
Because when you're in a scene with somebody, it almost feels, it's like I want it rather than like do it like this and then, you know who is
and then snap back into your character.
Yes.
Yeah, which is like probably jarring, you know.
Well, that's what Culkin from Succession.
Oh, because
Kieran was just saying, you know, he was directed by Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh yes.
That he was like, they would do a scene and he'd give him a note and he'd be like, I have notes for you too.
I saw that interview.
I feel that because it's like, it does feel almost like a barrier is broken a little bit. So rather than snap into director, you could work on this and hit this. Like, I would rather try to like in the scene find it together than be loading them up.
Right.
You know?
And when you're an actor on someone else's set, now that you've been on the other side of it, like, is there a way that you try to approach a director if you have something you want, like, to say or change?
I'm the most well-behaved actress on any set. Trust me, because I just am like, they are so busy. They have so much to do. I'm going to be the least of their problems. If they want to give me a compliment, it is welcome. If they don't want to talk to me at all good. Like I try to just like show up, deliver, get out of there. Yep. Because I know what it's like.
I love
that. Is so funny. I feel that too now. Like, I think people have to take care of actors a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm constantly like, oh, you don't have to do, you know, that's so nice. But like, you don't have to do let's keep going. You know, like I'm chilling. Let's keep going.
I mean, it's
whatever you want.
It's a really vulnerable job having, you know, doing it myself and watching my actors find things. I mean, I if they feel that they need something, whether it be some comfort, some praise, some conversation, some discussion, some a change. I think it's my job, big time, as a director, is to like enable them to do their best work by backing them up and their ideas up and like creating a safe space. And maybe that's because I come from the theater and that's so much of what we talked about in theater schools, like creating a safe space, a safe space, a safe space.
Yes.
And I don't feel like that's always discussed in film.
Well, there's I think a good number of directors who are much more comfortable directing a camera than directing their actors.
Sure.
And I've been lucky enough to work with directors who are good with both, but I've seen it sometimes where I'm like, oh, you don't trust that you're articulating this the way that you want to, and you can sort of like feel it. And so I think, you know, it's not a hot take, but like people say, if you want to direct, just take an acting class, see what it's like, learn the language.
It's real. It's real. A lot of directors are afraid of actors. I don't know if it's because they want them to be able to stay living in their worlds and like they don't want to like mess with that ecosystem, or if it's just like I don't know this language, or like they might start crying or like have a tantrum. Like I don't totally know what that fear is.
Right.
But I am grateful that my favorite part is talking to my actors.
You can see that in their performances, that they are just like chewing up like what you've put in their mouths. You know what I mean? Like you can see, it's so fun.
Sorry, go ahead.
I literally just cracked my knuckles in this. I'm so sorry.
Good job.
I was gonna say, do you feel like when you're acting in something, how do you handle then having to like go back and check monitor, you know, like, do you have any like little tricks that you've sort of developed over time of being in your own things, but now on a bigger scale of how to handle that?
Okay, I just came up with an analogy right now. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's try it.
Yeah.
when you're driving, do you think about when to brake or hit the gas?
No.
It's a little instinctual.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at first it feels like when you first start learning how to drive, you're like, I can't imagine what stick shift is. Probably insane. But I do think that the more that you do it, again, the more you know if you got it or not.
Yeah.
And you really only go to the monitor if you don't think you have it. So I tried not to watch because that's too much back and forth.
Yeah.
Like now you're gonna like A, eat up your day.
Right.
And B, start to get in your head if you want to watch yourself that much. I don't recommend, I can't speak, again, I don't want to speak for other actors or other actor directors, but for me, what I have found is like, if it felt good, it's probably good.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you'll make a mistake, like when I go like this on Nick and my face is like this, and I didn't check the monitor and like, where's freaking Becky, my producer, telling me my face is all scrunched? But but it's in the movie because it's just like, well, it is what it is.
And
it felt
real.
right, and we found that as an authentic moment.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna like choose a take that's more flattering if I prefer the performance. And it was an authentic thing. So sometimes it helps you to look at the monitor. But I think what I should have done is like, Becky, can you watch and make sure I don't do something weird? Yeah. You know.
Well, okay. So this I feel like ties in well to like the casting process. Who came on first? How did you know? Like, it's such a demanding role. Jill. And how early did Zoe Deutch come on? And, you know, was she always who you wanted for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always Zoe. Zoe
She's
was
everything.
attached in 2 iterations. Once when it was at Sony, and then it was a Netflix film, and she was attached. So it was always going to be Zoe, you know? And it's one of those roles, it's such heavy lifting. I mean, she's the heart and soul of the film. It's some really tough, dramatic stuff, as you know. And then it's some really broad, big comedy beats and some set pieces. And there's some sexual scenes in there. And, you know, it goes there. And all of my women do in all my movies. Every movie that I write, I don't write like easy roles to play, you know? But I just knew, first of all, Zoe loved it. And that's, in some ways, the best gift you can have in a talented actor is that they want to do it. And they're not afraid. And they're not, did I just lose my earring?
What's that?
Hairpin.
Oh.
Sorry. My glam is already
Coming down.
I gotta go soon. My face is
Like
gonna start
Cinderella at the ball. Like
I know, my lashes start falling off.
Or like melting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just stick it in my pocket.
You know.
Keep that part in. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So Zoe wanted it. She wanted to do the role. She was brave. She wasn't afraid of any piece of it. And then she's just so funny and so brave and brazen. She almost like is more confident the scarier the material is. It's almost like she just like comes even more alive. It's almost like the more challenging stuff feels better in her body because she can like rise to an occasion. And then the really heavy dramatic stuff is like she's so emotionally available. I remember there being a moment where I was like, I don't want to give you this note because it's a really terrible director note. She's like, give it to me. And I was like, I hate it. Can I get a single tear? And she was like, I got you, boss. And there it was. And I would never give that note to a lesser actor. I hate that. That is a ridiculous note. But that's the kind of note I can also get because you're like, there's a craft to it.
Totally.
There's like so many facets to an actor like Zoe. She's done it for so long.
Yeah.
And you could just, man, she's just a pro. Like, there's nothing that girl can't do.
Yeah. I
God.
think that what I love in a rom-com heroine is when they are, to borrow a line from Crazy Stupid Love,
The best.
you know, sexy but cute, you know, like all, but and like messy and all the things, and just a whole complete person, which is what you wrote and what you directed, and she brings it to life.
Oh, she is so sexy but cute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So sexy and cute.
I'm
cute
like,
and
I also
sexy.
butchered the line. I'm like,
whatever that beautiful
whatever Steve
line.
Carell said.
Yeah.
But she,
It's so
Perfect
true.
combination of sexy and cute.
yes, she
yes.
is. She
Yeah.
so is that. She's absolutely that, and that's why she was like the perfect
Yeah.
Jill.
Even when you wrote in there like that he says, I love when like she's like a sexy chipmunk. Like when
Yes.
her mouth is just full of food, but she's like sexy still. And then later when he comes to find her at
She's still
midnight,
eating.
and then she gets up and she's a sexy chipmunk, I started bawling because I was like, she is so cute.
Oh my god.
And these are the moments that I cry in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is so real, and she really is so cute.
She's so cute.
And he loves that.
He loves that.
So when you're writing, when you're casting something like this, like I also agree with everything that you just said, but I was just thinking about like chemistry is so important.
Totally.
Yeah.
But like the right alchemy, like especially because you're meeting them separately and they both have their different wants and whatever. I feel like how difficult was it for you guys to find her sister? And that chemistry is so important.
Yeah.
Especially when she's
they were
not
so
a
cute.
on-screen presence anymore.
I know.
And you still feel her. Yeah.
It's hard, man. I will say, I don't love auditioning actors. I find auditioning tough. I know that I've done a
Like
lot
the
of it.
first audition or the chemistry
Like
read
I
for
don't
all
want
of it?
anybody to audition ever.
Right.
I just want to cast who I want, and I can watch from their tapes. But as we know,
Yeah.
it's not just my decision. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people's decisions, and people want to see chemistry. And two incredible actors might not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
Mhm.
So we did have to hold a lot of auditions for the role of Izzy. And there is a quality about sisters where you're kind of like talking over each other when you're arguing, and there's so much history, and it's so hard to recreate. It's so hard to like fabricate that.
Yeah.
And when Sierra auditioned, because we saw so many incredible, gorgeous, luminous, beautiful actors, but when Sierra auditioned, they were like fighting. She's like, "No, dude, what are you talking about?" And I was like, and it just felt
That's so real.
Yeah.
it felt so real to me, and it just was clear.
Yeah.
It was just so obvious, and it was like, it's so hard to compete when something like clicks.
Yeah.
And it's hard because as an actor, you're like, every single one of these actresses was wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was a familiarity, a lived in essence of sisters with Zoe and Sierra.
I think that's so important for actors to hear you say, because so many have not been on the other side of an audition, and you can beat yourself up about like, what did I not do? What did I miss? And so much of it is a chemistry or an alchemy or like just the essence that you bring that you didn't have to work at. And it's like,
It's
is
true.
that the
I
part?
hate to say, oh, and to be clear, they didn't fight as humans.
No. Yeah.
In the scene, and just to be clear,
They hated each other.
You're like, perfect.
No, but exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a great lesson for us as actors.
It's freeing, I think. I
Yeah.
mean, it's disappointing because it's not, there's only one who gets it, unless you're baby twins and you got to be switched out. But I mean, like,
True.
the only one person could get it. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have sisters?
I have a little sister.
Just the one little sister.
Yeah.
Has she
one
seen
little
it?
Sister. She has not yet.
Oh my God, she's gonna lose her goddamn mind. I can't even imagine.
I'm really excited.
I had to call my sisters after and during. I was like, but we talk the same all day, every day. You know what I mean? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, and Vika also has a sister.
I do. She's
So
older.
we're sisters
Oh,
over
yeah.
here. Did you pull from like the language that you use with your actual
Yes.
sister? Like,
Yes.
I loved that they called each other like hello
Brother.
brother,
Yeah,
like da-da-da.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
Lad.
she has a
Lad.
sister.
Yep. So much of that is real, and we love Robin.
Oh my
and
God. Yeah.
she loves baking, and she was in school in New York when I was in LA, like pursuing my dreams. And I would call and leave these long voicemails after she'd gone to bed because of the time difference, and I would just cry and tell her what happened, or I would just kind of like really let it all hang out for my sister. And so much of, I'm very grateful that she is healthy and well.
Yeah, seriously.
Important to note. Yeah.
Important to know But that sisterhood love story
Yeah.
is what is really the crux and the soul of the movie. And it was interesting because I wrote this movie in 2018 before I met my husband, obviously, because I just got married.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But it was really sweet to sort of dream what this love could look like, the way that Jill is dreaming, and then on the other end to make this movie after having found my love.
Wow. Yeah.
And seeing how what I was really like manifesting for myself through this film was like, I want a love that feels like that.
Yeah.
Like how pure a sisterhood love is.
When you say, I don't need a man, I need my sister.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I'll cry.
Yeah.
My
I mean,
favorite line.
I can't like stop, like the way that like hit me.
Yep.
I can't even explain it. And like that, you don't get to see that in rom-coms. It's like you're adding in just so much more life.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
With the tone, we've touched on this a bit, but I think for me as a writer, director, and I've only made a handful of shorts, and I think something I'm still learning is how to edit comedy. And I know I'm not the editor, but how to like be in that edit. And you're walking this line, as you spoke about, between the grief and the real heart and the comedy. Is that something that's just in your bones, you think? or is it like, is there, is it about hiring the right people? Like, because sometimes I watch things and I'm like, they didn't edit that right, And this is great. Like it really hits those beats.
I don't know, man. This is the tough one. I get asked this question all the time. I absolutely think the right editor is
Just gonna get
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And Lee Haxel and RC, they were my editors on Voicemails. But I really think even before I entered the editing room, babe, because they were cutting as I was shooting, I just think they were getting it. Even without me being there, they were like finding it. And that's because they have this, Lee actually cut Crazy Stupid Love. And that was one of my like tonal comps. And I was like, I want her. I want the editor of Crazy Stupid Love.
I'm like,
that's
I
know, so cool.
Can I just say, we were cutting at Company 3, which is on the lot. And we went to this like mixer. It's the most, it's heaven. Company 3 is the best place on earth. Let me just tell you, I was never happier than when I was editing at Company 3 and they would make pancakes on Fridays. I was so happy, and I would take my little like card and like come in and be in my sweats all day. I was so happy. But one day we went to the mixer. They always have like these beautiful mixers. And I'm talking to Lee, and this woman comes up and she's like, hi, I'm Lee. And she goes, I've been waiting to meet you, and I'm so honored to be cutting in the same building as you. And I was like, Lee? And she was like, oh, that's crazy. Like Lee was like, that has never happened to me before, ever in my life. And I was like, that
is so cool.
Was like, I'm sure as like a female editor, it's such a boys' town, like all of this, but her specifically, she has the Emmy for Arrested Development. I mean, she's a very iconic editor, but anyway, I was so proud.
That's so cool.
When she came up to her, it was like fangirling. Anyway, yes, I think editing is so crucial, and having an editor that like gets it. But also, I think some of it's in the script, some of it's in the performance, and some of it you just don't know. Do you know what I mean? You don't know if it's going to work. Maybe it was discovered on set. Maybe it was in the script and then it didn't translate. Maybe you just completely created it in editing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like people ask me about these tonal, like your head is spinning with these changes. You know, you're crying and then suddenly you laugh. Like that, I will say, is like kind of my thing. I love doing that to people. It's like emotional whiplash.
Totally.
But it's only because I'm not trying to take advantage. But what I think is that just reflects real life, how messy it is.
Yes.
And how genre bending life is.
Totally.
You know?
Right, like how Nick Offerman is like,
well, also
like all of that, pulling that off, like that working.
That was so funny.
In the context of the rom-com.
Right.
Is just like incredible.
But
it's real.
Because I read your script and it was like that character could come across so many different ways.
So many different ways, yeah.
And I loved this interpretation of it because I was so surprised, you know?
What was it like in the script?
Well, he's like really, as he is in the movie, a tough boss.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
But I wasn't expecting this, like, maybe I'm misremembering, but I wasn't expecting like the fake accent and like certain things. I was dying.
We just had so much fun.
Yeah.
Offerman is
Also, were you like dying? Were you a Parks and Rec fan where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm working with Nick Offerman?
yes. I was freaking out, but I always wanted him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted Nick. So
Amazing.
and so there and also I will tell you, he dives in so fully. He is a genius. I mean, we had so much footage.
Oh my
that
God.
was so funny.
the spinoff.
Totally. We needed a Chef Fashion spinoff. I mean, there was so much footage that it was like an embarrassment of riches. And it was probably the toughest thing in the film. The toughest part of the process was calibrating how much kitchen.
Yeah.
Because there was like so much footage of Arthur, Lucas Gage, and Chef being hilarious.
They're
Oh my
both
God, I bet.
great.
But
Yeah.
it was like,
little
at the end of the day, we kind of got to get her out of the kitchen because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
love
yeah,
story is
yeah.
out of the kitchen. So you're just trying to like find the best pieces and
Right.
keep the story moving, but keeping the like tension alive and the, you know what I mean? So it was, but
Yeah.
I had so much, can't even tell you how hard we would laugh on set and just such a pure joy.
I love that. You talked about music and being
Yeah.
a singer-songwriter, and it was
Mhm.
announced literally today that you're doing the Shania Twain
Screaming.
biopic. Like, how
Screaming.
amazing. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
And the music in this movie, you have Esty Haim and
Amanda Yamate.
thank you.
Mhm.
Doing composition. You have the most
So sick.
iconic needle drops when Usher's Daddy's Home came
Oh
on.
my
The
God.
way that I cackled.
That man.
That was not in the script. I just love TikTok. I'm obsessed with TikTok. I love it so much. And we were like struggling with that scene a little bit. It was not because of the performances. The performances were epic, but we needed to cut it down. We were like, sort of, how do we go from here? And then I had all that footage that I don't think I knew exactly where it was going to go, the close-up kind of roving shots of his
yeah.
Oh my
like,
God.
lips and his eyes. And I really wanted to use it, but wasn't really like fitting in.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Daddy's home. And I was cackling. I still cackle. It's my favorite part of it.
It's
Yeah.
so funny.
It's so
But
fun.
I'm like, your sensibility for music is so evident because, and I know there's so many hands working on it who did a wonderful job,
Yes.
but I think there are beats in here that really made me spark to like, oh, a song can be a comedic beat in itself.
for sure.
You know?
Totally.
Like,
It like signals to you how you're supposed to feel about something. It's like subtext
Yeah.
under subtext under subtext.
well, 100%. But I think there were like shifts.
Oh,
that
100%.
were
Yeah.
like exactly right. And I guess, how did you bring on your music supervisor and your composers? That's the real question I'm getting at, other than wanting to sing the entire song. It's like, how did you find the right fit?
Yeah. So my music supervisor season is like the boss.
Mhm.
She's like the one. You know, if you want a music supervisor, you want Season Kent. And I had actually gone to I'd sat next to her at like a dinner event with Temple Hill, this production company that I work with a lot. And my friend, director Brett Haley, who just did People We Meet on Vacation. He's about to do 13 going on 30.
Yes.
He was like, you got to hire Season. Best.
I love that.
So I'm chatting with her, and I find out that her husband is Nicaraguan, like me. This is a very small country, and I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard to not like somebody. Yeah, that's also kind of Nicaraguan. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But and she just was so dope, and I was telling her about the movie because I was like in the thick of it, and Netflix was like, obviously we love Season. Like, I don't know if we can get her to do it, like budget wise. And then she said yes, and it was like full speed ahead. So it was kind of the dream because Season just makes everything happen. Everything that
cool.
seems impossible, you know, I still, you know, wrote letters to a lot of musicians. I made decks for musicians. I shared scenes with musicians to
like
show
script or actual footage?
actual footage, like
cool.
cut footage to show them, here's what it would look like.
Yeah.
I need your song. I'm very big because I come from the indie world and
Yeah.
I will I swear to God, if you could be great at anything, write a great letter.
Hell
Write a
yeah.
great fan letter. I'm very good at them. That I will own.
Yep.
I will own that I write a great letter
Mm-hmm.
because I'm very good at like just being honest about my fandom.
Yeah.
And I have written to artists. I wrote to Journey to be able to cover Lights. And I said, this was the song that when I left San Francisco and I moved to LA, I would cry listening to this song and at the remembering it playing at the ballpark, the Giants park, and that was my first job selling ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like I'm home. Like I want to be home.
That's the
And-
Donna Missile cover?
Yes.
Ugh, I love her.
And I was told it was maybe not going to happen.
Yeah.
And they said yes. And I believe that it's because they knew that I'm not some random filmmaker with a needle drop. I was set in San Francisco, get Journey. Like I'm a San Francisco born and bred bitch, you know? Like that's my town. And like, it's gotta be, there is no alt.
Right.
I'm not pulling an alt. And they were like, we're gonna have to like record the whole song fully produced by Zach Dawes and Donna Missile. We're gonna have to pay for that just to be able to present it to them. I said, then that's what we're doing.
Right.
Oh my
They
God.
might just say no. I said, then that's what we're doing.
Okay.
They're
And
not-
not
they're
only
not
do you
done.
write a great letter, but you know music.
Yeah.
Like
I
that.
love music
can
is
tell.
everything to me.
Yeah, you can tell.
It informs everything.
Early listeners of the pod, our first episode was with Patty Jenkins, and she
cool.
also
Yes,
wrote
she
to
did.
Stephen Perry. Yes.
Steve Perry, yeah.
Steve Perry.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm about to like embarrass myself.
No.
Steve Perry to get
Don't Stop Believing?
Yes,
Yeah,
Don't Stop Believing.
Yes, there we go.
In Monster, it's like they're at the roller rink and it plays as they're falling in love. And she wrote a letter because she also had absolutely no money for that movie and was like, I know this movie is about real people and it's not the way that it's used often.
Yes.
And he not only gave her the song, he came on board and was on set with her every day.
Yes.
And like, and he was at the screening.
He
we
came
did
to the
of
screening
Monster,
and he
which
hopped
was-
on stage and talked on the frickin' podcast.
Wow.
We were like, Steve fucking Perry.
I was just like, what's
Beautiful.
happening? So anyway, this is really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And they support women directors.
They
so
do.
Yeah.
Love that.
They do.
great.
Okay, so let's wrap up with hot takes. This
Okay.
is our section where we have a spicy to lukewarm take on something filmmaking related.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick us off or do you want one of us to go?
I'm going to go.
Okay.
Yeah, she ready. She's like,
I'm ready. I've been waiting to speak publicly. I mean, I always speak nobody can shut me up about this, but I'm ready to bring it to you guys.
Okay. Leah McKendrick, what is your hot take?
Showgirls is one of the greatest movies of all time.
my. I think about
Before
this
its
daily.
time, Elizabeth
Yes.
Berkley is a queen.
Yes.
She is so stunning, so committed.
Mm-hmm.
Preach.
I mean, she needs to be like inducted. You know what? Give her an honorary Oscar.
Ooh.
that
Yeah, because she kind of got like slayed after that.
Yeah, because female sexuality
Mhm.
is so scary
Yeah.
to this country and to this globe, but this country
but
big
this
time.
country big time.
Totally.
And she, was our kind of sweetheart in Saved by the Bell, and she oh my God, she
Mhm.
became a woman
Mhm.
and showed her body
Mhm.
Yep.
and was dancing sexually. I just thought it was so iconic. I've loved the
Yeah.
movie since I was young,
Me
way
too.
too young to be watching it.
Same.
I've met her. I love
Oh,
her.
cool.
And I tell her how iconic she is all the time.
I love
Good.
that.
And I hate that she went through because she was ahead of her time, had to
Yeah.
face such extreme.
And I hope she gets
bullying.
hers now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
Like-
she is.
Good.
Good.
I love that movie so much. We'll have to offline about this.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But just like
Yeah.
the glitter, the sparkles, the showgirl, like, yeah, I watched it way too young. I'm sure secretly somehow. And I think about it every day of my life.
I know. It's so iconic. I think it has informed a lot of what I do.
Yeah.
People always laugh when I say it, but I'm like, no.
No, I'm fully.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go?
Okay, yeah, mine's super short. Headshots. Done. Let's
You're
not do
over
it.
them.
Let's not do it. Let's not do it. Like, they're so weird. They're expensive for no reason. It's always just weird. Like, I think we can delete delete it. There's got to be a better way. Like use a picture, like I guess like a step and repeat photo might be like too glammed up, but like there's options, like something that's real. It just feels like such a crazy thing. Take a fucking selfie.
Well, also people always like when we're looking at casting, we look at the headshot and then it's like, okay, but let's go look at their Instagram or like, can they send a selfie of what they look like right now? Like, do they have a beard? Do they do they still have their hair?
Like, what if we just all agreed, like, we're just not doing that anymore?
Yeah.
You know, like your rep can pick a picture out of, but except for like, you know, PR related things. And she's like, wait, but you know, like stuff that's more of like lifestyle vibe, you know what I mean? But just for casting specifically.
What about just like a drawing, a sketch? What if I just did a
self-portrait? I want a police artist.
Right, whatever you think you look like based on your art skills.
I'm like, there you go.
And that's my hot take.
I love
that.
Okay, my hot take is that I think we should have younger people in positions of power at studios and networks. I think there are really fabulous people of all ages. This is not an ageist remark, but when I look at the history of Hollywood, there are times where studios were being run by 32-year-old people, and now everyone is way older. And I think, you know, I'm 35, and my generation of people who came up as assistants through Hollywood are still freaking assistants, and they're not getting the people aren't leaving and people aren't getting promoted. And I really think that we need to infuse this industry with some new young energy. Like, I think there's a reason Obsession and Backrooms are so successful, and they're wonderful films, and it's not like you had to be 25 or 20 to make those, but I think let's see what the young people want to make and like see what they have to say. And I think, you know, maybe promote your assistant if you're listening to this.
I love that.
Promote your assistant.
There are some really smart, great young execs.
Yes, that is true.
But we, you know, get them up there.
Get them a little higher.
Retire.
I will say, like, our execs are on the young side, and they're fantastic. And I've worked with older execs who I absolutely adore. I just want to see these folks who've worked so hard get their chance to like make their mark. So where can people see the movie, follow you?
Only on Netflix, baby.
Hey.
June 19th. And they can follow me on Insta. I think my days of Facebook are over.
Okay.
Let's be real. That's another hot take. Might be on the way out. I don't do any of that X Twitter stuff. I will only watch TikTok. I might have never posted TikTok, but I love it.
Okay. Yes.
Instagram's probably the most.
Instagram is also like my form of currency.
Right.
You can follow the podcast at Daddy Daily's Pod or Not Your Daddy's Films at NYD Films on Instagram and TikTok. And
yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you for having me.
Daddy Dailies is a production of Not Your Daddy's Films, a social impact organization dedicated to educating and empowering women and non-binary creatives in TV and film. If you like what you heard today, click subscribe and leave us a positive review. If you want more Daddy episode insights and to be the first to know about in-person events, follow Daddy Daily's Pod and NYD Films on Instagram and TikTok. Daddy Dailies is edited by Vika Stubblebine and Carly Tamarin. See you next time, Daddy.